First off, thank you for tuning in to the second update on Nugget. I'm going to run through some of the things I've been doing to get it ready for its 400-mile flight to Anchorage, like new brakes and fuel tanks and a whole lot more, including some things you may never have expected. I'll also show you how they shoehorn a 50-year-old Scout into a cargo plane. But before we get started, be sure to like and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on any of this Alaskan Scout adventure. Now let's get started. Well, I've been here about a week and a half working on the Scout. Got started and came over here to my buddy's place. He rents this little apartment here in Bethel. That's it. It's one room wide. I feel like I'm in a dorm. Anyway, been driving it around, working great. Put speedometer cable on it. Put brakes on the front, new brakes and drums from classic Scout parts, a kit they have, and it went together wonderfully. That worked out good. I still haven't done the back, but the back worked pretty well. I can actually get it to slide in the gravel now when you stomp on the brakes, which is awesome. I got it cleaned out, been going through some little things. Working on I got the new gas pedal in, which no more riding on the little bar like so many of us end up doing. Floor mats, made some floor mats for it. Did the gaskets on the passenger side window. Oops, I'm a little tight over there. Oh, check this out. Got the bling on the back, got my lettering put on. That was just me playing. That doesn't really make it drive, but made it look good. Let's see, new gaskets and felt in the window here. This runner back here, man, that window's tight now. Love it. What else? Had the gas tanks when I got back. The gas tanks were far worse than I thought they would be, or I had remembered them being. So my buddy Nick, who is a decent enough welder, helped me kind of patch them together. And I've got them down here sitting in the sun warming up for an epoxy dip this morning. I'm using the Pour 15 product. I've used it before. It works pretty good. The bottom of this tank here was so amazingly bad. Clearly, you know, had I been in the lower 48, I would have just bought poly tanks or found some better original tanks. But when the shipping for a tank is double the cost of a tank, it makes two tanks pretty doggone expensive. So I opted for a patch job at this point. We'll see how that works out for me. If nothing else, it'll get me out of Bethel and down onto the road system somewhere, and then maybe I could order some poly tanks if I need to. But so today I've got this, this is just gaffer's tape with the screws in it. You know, you kind of do this and you don't know, you know, I don't want epoxy to get into the threads. So I put the screws in, but then that's going to get epoxy on the screws, so I'll probably take them out as it is curing. You know, so you just do the best you can. We'll see. Going over this morning, the bracket in the Scout that the tanks sit on the floor, you know, that you bolt up through, on one of them is rusted and one half of it is dangling and loose. So I'm gonna go back over and we're gonna weld an L bracket on there to kind of support that while we ride. I'm not too worried about the gap. In fact, I think if International would have left a gap there, we probably would have had a lot less rusted out tanks, but you know, because it just holds dirt in there. Man, when I took these things out, there was 12 inches of dirt, but I'm sure I'm not the only person that has that story. So anyway, chugging along. So this is where we've slept for a week and a half and probably be here another week. This is the guest bedroom, Joe's bedroom. There's the living room and the kitchen and the bathroom. It's been tight. But you gotta do what you gotta do, you know. So we're having a good time. It's like a dorm. Well, I learned something yesterday. Apparently, to fly your vehicle from Bush, Alaska to Anchorage, your headlights have to work. Who knew? I don't know why. I think they probably have to turn them on because of airport, you know, rules and regulations when they're loading the plane. It's summer in Alaska. It's not like the sun goes down very much anyway. But today, I ran out to Napa and pulled the dustiest headlight off the shelf, and we're gonna get that culprit over there to work. Also, you have to have seat belts, and I had seat belts in a box that I was planning to put in, but I hadn't yet, and so came back last night and got the seat belts installed. Look at there. Ta-da! Those not bad seat belts. Kind of look like the originals. Found them online. I'll put a link in the description, I think. I think I remember where it was. It's been about 2 years since I bought them. They've been sitting in a box because, you know, rural Alaska. Safety third. So, got that. Gonna put that one in. I've got seat belts, and she's going on the jet today. We'll see how this goes. I'm a little nervous, but I'll get out there and they'll think of something else. Oh, here, and check this out. Is that not the stubbiest looking set of tires you've ever seen in your life? The rims are good, keeping the rims. When I get to Anchorage, I'm gonna get new tires put on. It has to be under 67 inches. I think it was 67 or 68 inches to get through the door of the plane. So I had to get rid of my big tires. I have a buddy here in town that has a Scout 80. I gave them all to him as spare tires. They were all junk, but they've been, I mean, I say junk, they've been on this Scout, sitting in a snowdrift, not moving for 17, well, probably 20 years now. And they've lost no air. They were great tires. Well, they were mismatched. There was 3 of one kind, 1 of another, which is typical. Today, I've got 3 of one kind and 1 of another on this one. The guy from the local garage swapped out somebody's tires and was kind enough to give me these rejects that, if I'm lucky, will hold air long enough to get this baby to Anchorage on the jet. And then I'll go get me some nice, a little bit taller tires. Alrighty, just a few minutes later, and we have 2 headlights. Thank goodness we do have a Napa in town. Things are kind of spendy, but not well, I won't say unreasonable, sometimes unreasonable, but today, not crazy. I think that headlight was about 30 bucks, which is just the price of living in the bush. I usually go to the dump and get things off of old cars out there, but there was nothing out there with round headlights. How sad is that? Stupid old 80s plastic, 90s plastic, 2000 plastic. Anyway, headlights now, seatbelts in. I'm taking her to the airport. Well, just dropped the Scout off at Everett's Air Cargo. Right there it is. They're gonna move it through the fence in a little bit, and we're gonna get that thing shipped on their plane. It's Memorial Day weekend, so it won't happen until at the earliest Monday. No, they're closed Monday. Tuesday is the earliest it could go out. Fingers crossed. I am going to spend a couple more days in Bethel visiting friends, and here I actually have a bed. There I'll be crashing on my son's couch for a couple of days. So we'll see how this goes. It's shipping out for, they say, 66 cents a pound, which, if I've done my math right, should be in the area of 2,000, a couple $100, 2,200, something like that. I probably got a couple $100 or a couple £100 of parts that I also dropped off to have palleted in with the Scout, because when you're going to drive it from Alaska to the East Coast, you need to take some spare parts. So it's all loaded up, or unloaded at the moment, but they're loaded up, and we're going to give this baby a try. The nice people at Everett's Air Cargo were kind enough to email me a few photos to show me that I had made it on the plane. So with any luck, we'll get to see it soon. Be sure and like and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out. And thanks for watching.